What if the gods never left? What if the ancient Greeks were right? Not philosophically right, not metaphorically right, actually, literally, probably right. What if Zeus never stopped throwing lightning bolts? What if Poseidon still owns every ocean on Earth, and every navy on Earth knows it? What if the reason certain empires rose, certain leaders fell, certain civilizations left marks that nothing has been able to erase wasn't just history? What if it was management? Here is a fact about the ancient world that doesn't get talked about enough. The Greeks didn't believe in their gods the way we use the word believe today. Belief, the way we mean it, implies some degree of uncertainty. You believe something you can't prove. The Greeks knew. They had seen the lightning. They had watched the sea move. They had crops that grew and crops that didn't, and they knew, not suspected, not hoped, knew why. So here's the question this channel is built on. What if that knowledge was correct? What if it never stopped being correct? What if we're the weird ones, living in the one era of human history that decided the gods were a story and every civilization before us was simply paying attention? This is divine world order. A world identical to ours in almost every way. Same continents, same countries, same Tuesday afternoon energy of modern life, same arguments about politics and economics and who controls what and why. Except in this world, above all of that, pressing down on every parliament, every stock exchange, every military briefing room, every international treaty, there is one more layer. 12 immortal beings who have been running this planet since before we had writing, who never retired, who never left, who are frankly a little annoyed that we act like they did. Let's do a quick tour. Mount Olympus is a sovereign nation. Think the Vatican, its own territory, its own laws, recognized by every country on Earth. Except instead of the Pope, it has Zeus. And instead of Swiss guards, it has weather. Every major government has embedded oracles, officially licensed, government-employed humans whose job is to translate divine intention into policy. The United States has 11. Russia won't say how many it has. The answer is definitely a lot. The Oracle at Delphi is still the most prestigious consultation on Earth. 14-month waitlist. Cost comparable to a small warship. Worth it, apparently, because every major world leader has used it at least once, and none of them will admit it publicly, and all of them did it again. Poseidon owns the oceans, every ocean, all of them. International maritime law exists and is real, and Poseidon finds it charming. Demeter controls agriculture. Every country with a farming lobby also has a Demeter liaison. This is not a metaphor, this is a job title. Hermes runs trade and communication. Wall Street has a bronze relief of him above the trading floor. Nobody put it there. It's just always been there. Nobody has ever suggested moving it. Nobody ever will. And Ares? Ares shows up where Ares always shows up. The interesting thing about Ares in the modern world isn't that he exists. It's that 3 different countries claim he's on their side. 2 of them might be right. We'll get into that. Here's what makes this world genuinely fascinating and genuinely different from every other mythology meets modern world story you've seen. The gods didn't take over. They didn't conquer. They didn't replace human civilization with divine rule. They just stayed, and human civilization built around them, which means everything we think of as normal, democracy, capitalism, international law, warfare, pop culture, your morning coffee, all of it developed in the shadow of divine authority. All of it was shaped, bent, occasionally shattered, and rebuilt by the fact that the people making human history always knew there was something older and larger watching. Every empire you've ever studied, built with one eye on Olympus. Every war, fought with the knowledge that Ares had a position on it. Every golden age of art, science, philosophy. Someone somewhere was working very hard to stay in Apollo's good graces. The history you know is still the history. But the reason behind the history, the hidden logic underneath all of it, looks completely different when you add 12 immortals to the equation. This series is going to go country by country, god by god, crisis by crisis. We're going to ask what divine patronage actually looks like in a world with nuclear weapons and social media and central banking. We're going to look at what happens when human law and divine law disagree. We're going to look at hubris, the one crime every civilization agrees on, and at the long, humiliating, occasionally hilarious list of powerful people who forgot about it. And we're going to do all of it with the seriousness the question deserves, and absolutely none of the seriousness that would make it boring. You don't need to know Greek mythology to watch this. Everything you need will be explained. You don't need to be interested in history or politics or theology. Those things are just the ingredients. What we're actually making is something older than all of them. A good story, about power, about pride, about what happens to civilizations that forget that every golden age has a ceiling and every throne has something above it. About the fact that the Greeks, 3,000 years ago, in sandals, arguing in the sun, might have understood something about how the world actually works that we've been slowly, expensively relearning ever since. The first episode drops in less than a week. Link would be in the comments when it's available. It's called Olympus Has a Veto. It starts with a UN Security Council meeting that does not go the way anyone planned. And it ends with a lesson that the most powerful institution on Earth learned in about 45 seconds. You'll want to be there for that. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us which god you think runs your country. Choose carefully. They read these.